Hi students, welcome to Jellybean online classes. So in our today's class, we are going to discuss the review of the reflection of light at curved surfaces. So let us see the points to be discussed in this overview of reflection of light at curved surfaces. So the first thing is introduction about the reflection. Next, here in this introduction, we are going to discuss the reflection on a plane surfaces, and next onwards, we compare the same reflection of light rays with curved surfaces. Next, after that, we are finding the normal on a curved surface. How to find out the normal on a curved surfaces. Next, let us here in this point we are going to see the definitions of pole, radius of curvature, focal point, focal length, and center of curvature. Next, after that, we are obtaining the parallel beam of light. How we are obtaining the parallel beam of light, and from where the object has to be kept to obtain the parallel beam of light will be discussed here in this point. Next, after that, we will try to find out the focal point as well as find the focal length. Next, lab activity. In this lab activity, we are going to find out the types of images. How many types of images can be obtained when we place an object at different positions, as well as we will learn how to measure the object distance and image distance and focal point, and also we will find out from where we have to measure the object distance, image distance, and focal point will be learned here in this point. Next, here we are going to discuss some rules which has to be followed by the light rays when they are coming from an object and incident on a curved surfaces. Here we will see the ray rules to be followed, and after that, by obeying the ray rules, by following the ray rules, how the ray diagrams can be drawn, can be observed here in this point. Next, after that, we have a mirror formula. We will discuss about the mirror formula as well as we discuss the relation between F, V, and U. Next, after that, the sign conventions. So here the sign conventions can be considered. It indicates, this sign convention indicates that whether the object is real or virtual, where the object is placed. Such kind of things can be observed with the help of this sign conventions. Next, magnification. In some conditions, when we observe this lab activity, we will say that we will observe some kind of images, types of images. So in that we will see some changes in their sizes also. That means we consider it as a magnification. That magnification can be observed at here. At the same time, we will find out how to make a solar cooker. So these are the points we are going to be discussed in this lesson. Let us start with the introduction of the reflection of light. So here, when the object or when the light is ejected from the source, it will travels in a straight line. When it strikes on a surface, or here when we consider this is the light ray, it incident on the surface. When it incident on the surface, it three things can be observed, or three things can be happen when the light is incident on the surface. The first one is reflection, absorption, and refraction. Here now we are going to observe the reflection. Depending upon the surfaces and depending upon the situations, absorption and refraction also takes place. Here in this class it is not necessary, so here we are going to discuss only about the reflection. So let us discuss what is the reflection. Reflection, nothing but when the light is incident on a smooth surface. When the light is incident on a smooth surface, for example like as mirror, we consider this is a mirror. When the light is incidented on a smooth reflecting or smooth surface, then the light rays will be bounce back into the same path, bounce back into the same medium. So such phenomenon of light ray is called as a reflection. Such phenomenon we are calling it as a reflection. When the light ray is incidented on a smooth surface, the light ray bounce back into the same medium. Such phenomenon of light ray is called as a reflection. Here the light ray which is obtaining from the, or the light ray which is coming from the source, we are calling it as an incident ray, and the light ray which is reflecting back after incidented or after striking to the surface, it bounces back into the same medium. So that we are calling it as a reflected ray. Reflected ray. And the point, it is a point at where the light is strike on the surface. We are calling it as an incident point. And at that point, here I am drawing a normal. Normal is nothing but it is a perpendicular line drawn to the surface. We are calling it as a normal. And here we are finding the angle of incident and angle of reflection. So here we consider the angle in between the incident light ray and normal. We consider it as an angle of incident, and the angle in between the normal and reflected light ray we are calling it as an angle of reflection. So the angle in between the incident light ray and normal is considered angle of incident, and the angle in between normal and reflected light ray is called as angle of reflection. And here this light rays or this reflection will obey two laws, or it follows two laws. First law, second law. So in this first law, here it says that this first law of reflection says that incident light ray, normal and reflected light ray lie in one plane. Incident light ray, normal and reflected light ray lie in one plane. And coming to that second law says that angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection. So we are calling this as a second law of reflection. In this second law of reflection, angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection. So this is the basic information related to the reflection. Now whatever the points we have seen about incident light ray, incident angle, normal, reflected light ray, angle of reflection, and these laws, incident light ray, normal, reflected light ray lie in first one plane, says about the first law. Second law, angle of incident is equal to angle of reflection. So all these points is simply reflects on reflection of curved surfaces. Here in these curved surfaces also these all points obeys the same. So here let us see how it happens. Here coming to that, first of all we have to see how many types of curved surfaces and what are curved surfaces. Here curved surface is nothing but it is a piece cutted from the spherical surface. So here we are considering a slice, or it is a piece from the curved surfaces. So if we consider, or if we complete this diagram, it makes a sphere or a spherical surface. So from that we are cutting a small piece or slice. So here we are calling it as a curved surfaces. Here for this curved surface we have two surfaces. This is called as bulged and this is called as hollow. This is called as hollow surface and this is called as bulged surface. And even we can consider this is a convex surface and this is a concave. This is a concave surface. Now based upon these two we can identify, or we can get some idea that how many types of mirrors can be obtained from the curved surfaces. Yes, very good. So here we have two types of mirrors. Those are concave mirror and convex mirror. That are two types. Convex mirror and convex and concave mirror. So here we have some specifications. Based upon that we classified it as a convex mirror and a concave mirror. So here convex mirror, so here it is having a nature of diverging the light rays. Convex mirror, it is having a nature of diverging the light rays, and it is having a nature of converging the light rays. So here based upon that converging and diverging nature we classified them into two types, that is convex mirror and concave mirror. Let us see how representation of convex mirror and a concave mirror. So convex mirror. So if the concave surface is silverly coated, then if the concave surface is silverly coated, then convex surface is acting like as a reflecting surface, and such type of mirrors we are calling it as a convex mirrors. And concave. If the convex surface is silverly coated, then concave surface will act like as a reflecting surface, and such type of mirrors are called as concave mirrors. And this mirror is also called as a diverging mirror, and this mirror is also called as a converging mirror. So this is the description about the types of mirrors. So let us see a small diagram with which we can say that the light ray obeys the same laws of reflections. Here, if we consider concave mirror, this is the incident light ray, this is a reflected ray. When we find the angle in between the incident light ray and reflected light ray, we obtain angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection, and angle of incident and angle of reflection are lie in same plane. Angle of incident light ray, reflected light ray and normal lie in same plane or one plane. Equal. So here this satisfies the laws of reflection. Here this is called as incident light ray. After incidenting on the curved surface, it reflects into the same medium. So this is called as reflected light ray. The angle in between incident light ray and normal is called as angle of incident, and the angle in between normal and reflected light ray is called as angle of reflection. So here it holds the same laws of reflections. Next, finding the normal for a curved surface. So here when we draw a normal for the plane surface, simply we draw a perpendicular line and we consider it as a normal. So here in this way we can consider a infinity number of normals for a plane surface. So in the same now we will discuss how to consider or find the normal for a curved surfaces. Here what I do is I consider a rubber strip. On that rubber strip, I consider the nails in this way. Here I consider the nails perpendicular to the rubber strip. Now I bend it into two types. If I bend it like this, or if I bend it like this. So if I bend it like this, all the nails are pointed towards one point. So here this point is considered as a center of curvature. This point is considered as a center of curvature. Now here if we consider this surface, it will looks like this. That means if we extend it, if we extend the light rays, or if we extend the points, it appears to be converging at a particular point. That means here we are considering the line drawn from center of curvature to any point on the surface. We consider it as a normal. Here for a curved surface, consideration of the normal is nothing but a line drawn from center of curvature to surface of the surface of the mirror is considered as normal. So in this way we can draw the normal for a curved surface. Next, coming to that some important definitions. So the first one is pole. First one is pole. Pole is nothing but it is a center point of a curved surface. It is a midpoint or center point of a curved surface. P. Next, radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is nothing but it is a line drawn from the center of curvature to any point. It is a line drawn from center of curvature to any point on the surface. We consider it as a radius of curvature, and even we consider that one as a normal also. Why? Because here these two satisfy the same condition, that the line drawn from center of curvature to any point or at any place of the curved surfaces. Next, focal point. Focal point is nothing but it is the point when we consider all the parallel light rays to the principal axis. Parallel light rays to the principal axis, then all the light rays will converge at a point. After reflection, all the light rays will converge at a point on principal axis. So that point we are considering it as a focal point, F. We are considering that point as focal point. And F, small f is nothing but focal length. The length or the distance between pole and focal point is called as a focal length. And center of curvature. So here if we consider a curved surface, it is an imaginary point as a center for a spherical surface from where we consider the curved surface. So in this way we are going to describe about the center of curvature. Next, obtaining the parallel beam of light rays. Here obtaining the parallel beam of light rays is very easy. So here when the object is or when the light source is placed at an infinity distance or far away from the mirror, then the light rays which are coming from that place or from an infinity, here all those light rays are considered as a parallel light rays. For that we have a small activity. So here based upon that activity we are considering a small cardboard. On that cardboard we are placing two nails. So here when we are projecting the light rays close from that object, then we observe the shadows of those two light rays are diverges. In this way we observe the light ray shadows are diverges. At the same time when we are moving the light source away from the object, nothing but if we are moving the object light source away from the object, increasing the distance in between the object and light source, then we observe that slowly these images or these shadows coming close to each other, and they are aligning parallel to each other, So by this activity we are confirming that the light rays which are coming from an infinite distance are parallel to each other. So here for our consideration, for the formation of the parallel light, for the formation of the focal point, we are using the parallel light rays only. Here in the finding of the focal point, we are considering a mirror, that one is a concave mirror. Here we are considering concave mirror like this. So here it is a pole and a line it is a center. Here this line which is drawn in between pole and center of curvature, we are calling it as a principal axis. And here we are considering the parallel light rays to the principal axis. Here we are considering the light rays parallel to the principal axis. That means here these light rays are coming from an infinite distance. When it is incidented on the concave mirror, as we have already said that it is a converging mirror, then all the light rays are converges at a point on the principal axis, like this. Here we are calling this point as a focal point, and this focal point is represented as a capital F, capital F, and the distance from the pole to focal point, we are considering it as a focal length, and it is represented by a letter small f. And here we have a relation in between small f and r. That relation is r is equals to 2f. R is equals to 2f. Otherwise we can say that f is equals to r by 2. So this is the relation in between r and f. And here in this way we can find the focal length, and by obtaining the focal point with the help of the light rays which are coming from an infinite distance. Next, we are doing a small lab activity. With the help of that lab activity, we are proving that when we place a object at different positions, we are obtaining the different images, and when we observe the nature of that images, we obtain that even the nature of the images are also different from one another. So here we are just note downing all the values and the nature of the images in a tabular form. So let us see here. So here I am considering the table. On the table, here I place a stand, V stand. So here this is V stand is used to place the mirror. Here I consider this concave mirror. As we know that this is a converging mirror, so I consider a concave mirror. Like this. Here I consider a screen. Screen is nothing but it is a white cardboard sheet, or we can consider it as a white paper also, and where the image is going to be captured. And here I consider a candle. Now when the light rays are incidented on a mirror, it will be captured here on a screen, and here we are obtaining the screen. On the screen we are obtaining the image. In this way we are obtaining the inverted images, like this. See here, when we are just changing the object distance, nothing but we are changing the positions of an object, that is candle. First of all we are placing the object at far away from the mirror, and we are trying to capture the image. And noting, copying or taking the readings of it on the table. So on the first table we are considering the nature of the images when it is placed at different positions. So here U, V, mirror, nature of the mirror, nature of the what we call image and object, real, virtual, invert, and erect, enlarge, diminish. So these are the changes we observed when the object is placed at different positions. So here U is nothing but object distance, V is nothing but image distance. When the object is placed at different positions, we are obtaining the image as different in nature, that is real, real, when we consider the object is, image is real, when the object's image is captured on the screen, we consider that image is real. If we are unable to capture the image on the screen, then we are considering that image nature as a virtual. When the object is real, then it will form as inverted. If it is not obtaining on the screen, that means that image is erected. And here either it may be real or virtual. So the image nature is in some positions it is enlarged, and even in some positions it will be at diminished. So in this way we will note down all the different values of object and the formation of the images. 1, 2, for example, object distance is 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. In this way. So in this way, when we observe that objects, this object position, based upon this object positions, we are framing the position of an object, that is at infinity, in between infinity and C, at C, in between C and F, at F, in between F and P. So in this way we are obtaining 6 different positions with 6 different natures of the images. So here by this we are obtaining the different types of images in this lab activity. So here in this lab activity, even we are going to find out the what we call distances, measuring of the image distance, object distance and focal length. Next, coming to that ray rules. Here totally we have 4 ray rules which has to be followed by the light rays. So whatever it may be the incident position or incident direction, or we can consider when the light ray is ejected from the light source and when it is falling on the mirror, it has to be follow the ray rules. So the first ray rule, ray rule is when the light ray is parallel to the principal axis. Light ray is parallel to the principal axis after reflection passing through focus. After reflection passing through principal axis. Here when the light ray is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection parallel to the passing through focus. Second ray rule, if the light ray is passing through F, after reflection the light ray will be parallel to the principal axis. The light ray will be parallel to the principal axis. Next, third one, the light ray is passing through the center of curvature. The light ray is passing through center of curvature, is undeviated. It is undeviated. So here in all the conditions it is obeying one property, that is one law, that is I is equals to R. Whatever it may be the ray rule, in each and every ray rule it is satisfying the second law of reflection, that is angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection. So let us see all these ray rules with a brief ray diagram. Here I consider the concave mirror, and this is pole, this is center of curvature, this is F. So if I consider the light rays parallel to the principal axis like this, then after reflection it passes through focal point like this, it passes through focal point. Next, here I consider a light ray passing through focal point, light ray passing through focal point after reflection parallel to the principal axis, parallel to the principal axis. A light ray passing through center of curvature, light ray passing through center of curvature like this. Here the light ray will not be deviate, it will bounce back into the same path. So that's why we are considering it as an undeviated. That's why we are considering it as an undeviated. So here these are the 3 ray rules. On base of these 3 ray rules, we are going to draw ray diagrams. So let us see the ray diagrams when the object is placed at different positions. Here we have already seen in this lab activity what are the 6 different positions of an object of finding the images. So let us see the ray diagrams at the different positions. So first one at infinity, second in between infinity and C, third one at C, third one at C, fourth one in between C and F, fifth one at F, sixth one in between F and P. So see, these are the 6 different positions of an object when we consider concave mirror. Concave mirror. So let us see the ray diagrams, how the image is going to be varies when we place an object at different positions. The first one, when the object is at infinity, all the light rays are parallel to each other. Here all the light rays will be converges at a point. This is F, this is C. All the light rays will be converges at a point like this. Like this. Like this. Second, when the object is in between C and F, when the object is placed in between infinity and C, that means even we consider it as a beyond C. So this is the ray diagram. First light ray is parallel to the principal axis. Light ray is parallel to the principal axis after reflection passing through focus, and light ray is passing through focus after reflection parallel to the principal axis, like this. Here in this condition we are considering the 2 light rays. Those 2 light rays are obeying the 2 different ray rules. Coming to the nature of the images, here in this condition the light rays are the nature of the image is real. Object is formed at F because all the light rays are converges at F, and here the nature of the image is highly diminished and it is inverted. And here in this also real, inverted, diminished, and the image is formed in between C and F. The image is formed in between C and F. Third point, at C, when we consider the object at C, the image is going to be formed at C only. In this way. When the object is placed at C, the image is also going to be formed at C only. So here in this case also the image is real, image is inverted, image is diminished, and image is at C only. Here the image is real, image is inverted, here image is of same size. It is neither diminished nor enlarged. It is the same size of an object and it is formed at C. Next, fourth position, in between C and F. It is quite opposite to the second situation. here in this way. When the object is placed in between C and F, the image is going to be formed at beyond C. Here also the image is real, inverted, and here in this case the image is enlarged and formed in between C and in between at beyond C. Beyond C. The image is going to be formed beyond C. Next, coming to that fifth position at F. F. When we place an object at F, we observe that these two reflected light rays are parallel to each other. That means they are intersecting at infinity. Then that means the image is going to be formed at infinity. That means the nature of the image is real, inverted, and highly enlarged, and the image is going to be formed at F. Next, coming to that sixth, the position in between F and P. Here it is a little bit different from the image positions obtained right now. So here in this position we are going to form a different nature of the image. Let us see. This is F, this is C. In between F and P, light ray parallel to the principal axis after reflection like this. So here we are obtaining the two reflected light rays as diverging light rays. That means if we extend the two reflected light rays, they are converging at a point behind the mirror. So here this conversion of the reflected light rays are an imaginary one. So that's why the image formed by this at this position is virtual, and it is erect, and the image is formed behind the mirror. And when we observe this nature of the image, it is enlarged. So these are the nature of the images observed when the object is placed in front of a concave mirror at different positions. And when we observe the different nature of the images when the object is placed in front of a convex mirror, let us see. Here for that one we have only two positions, because the positions of focal length, center of curvature, and focal point are behind the mirror. So that's why we have only two different positions. Those are at infinity. When the object is at infinity, then the light rays are parallel to principal axis. When the light rays are parallel to principal axis, then it appears to be focused, or it appears to be passing through center of curvature. It appears to be passing through focal point like this. This is F. So when the object is at infinity, and when the object is in between infinity and pole, when the object is in between infinity and pole, here we consider the light ray parallel to the principal axis, and after reflection it appears to be passing through focus like this. And in second case, the light ray passing through center of curvature. The light ray passing through the center of curvature, then this light ray will intersect at a point here, and when we observe the nature of the images, that is virtual, erect, diminished, formed, behind the mirror. Behind the mirror. So that's why we are saying that we have two types of two positions of an images when we consider a convex mirror. Next, mirror formula. In this mirror formula, we are obtaining the relation between F, U, V. So here, what is the formula? That is equals to 1 by F is equals to 1 by V plus 1 by U. This is the formula we are calling it as a mirror formula. Mirror formula. So in this mirror formula, we are obtaining the relation in between F, U and V. How? Because when the problems are given, they will just give the values of U, V, and by the values of U and V, we can obtain F. If the values are U and V is given, we can easily find out U value. If F and U is given, we can find out V value. So in this way, this formula is utilized to find out the other entity if the two values are given. So here the mirror formula is 1 by F is equals to 1 by V plus 1 by U. It gives the relation in between the object distance, image distance and focal length. Next, coming to that sign conventions. Here to describe about the sign conventions, we are taking the help of a graph. In this graph, we are considering the point O as a origin. In the same way, when we are considering the ray diagram, we are considering a point P. So here we are first point in the sign conventions. P is equals to O. That means here the origin is working like as a pole. Pole is working like as an origin. That means here all the distance, second point, all the distances are calculated from P. All the distances, as is the origin, here all the points are considered. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Here all these values are considered from O, that is origin. In the same way, here in this ray diagrams, when we calculate U, V and F, we consider all the values from pole. Next, third point, along the incident light ray. Along the incident light ray, we consider that value as positive. Along the incident light ray, we consider the value as positive, and if the values are considered opposite to the incident light ray, we consider as negative. Along the incident light ray, the values are positive. Opposite to the incident light ray, the values are negative. Next, fifth one. Above the principal axis, the height of an object is positive, and below the principal axis, the height of a object is negative. Above the principal axis, the height of an object is positive. Below the principal axis, the height of an object or an image is considered as negative. So in this way, we consider the sign conventions for an object distance, for a image distance, for a focal point, for a focal length, for a height of an object and for a height of an image. Next, magnification. What do you mean by a magnification? Magnification is nothing but it is the ratio in between size of an image by size of an object, or it is the ratio in between distance of an image by distance of an object, or it is the ratio in between height of an image by height of an object. Here this magnification is represented by a letter M. So if the magnification is considered in terms of distances, then we consider the distance as a minus V by U. That is the formula. That is distance of an image, distance of image by distance of object. So here in this way we consider the magnification in terms of distances. If we consider the same magnification formula in terms of heights, then we consider height of an image by height of an object, that is equals to height of image by height of object. So in this way we consider this formula in two different ways. If in terms of if in terms of distances, we consider the formula is equals to minus v by u, or in the same way if we consider the same formula magnification for heights, then hi by ho, that means height of an image by height of an object. So these are the two different ways of considering the magnification of an object and image. Next, making the solar cooker. So here making of the solar cooker, if we consider a concave mirror, then here all the light rays which are projected on this concave mirror are converges at a point, or at a point. That means the light rays must and should be a paraxial light rays, then only they will converge at a point. If the light rays are marginal light rays, then it is having another different focal point. That means here the focal point will be varies for paraxial rays and marginal rays. That's why what we are doing is we are considering a parabolic. We are considering a parabolic curve, and on that parabolic curve we are placing an isosceles triangled mirrors on this one. So here when we consider an isosceles triangled mirrors, then whatever the light rays parallel to this one are incidented on it, then all these light rays will converge at a point like this. Like this, all the light rays will converges at a point, and at there the intensity of the light rays or the intensity of the energy is increased, or the intensity of the heat will be increased. So here it is, if we place a container which consists of a food, then it will be heated up very quickly and it will be cooked very fastly. Actually this technology or this was invented by in the earlier stage only, that we have a scientist called as Archimede. He used a big concave mirror to burn the ships which are coming to attack their kingdom. So here by using a big concave mirror, with the help of sunlight rays which are fallen on this concave mirror, he will just project the light rays on the ship on the enemy ship like this. So in this way he burned the ships when they are far away from their kingdom. So here we are using the same technology for finding or for making of the solar cookers. So in this way we can increase, by increasing the intensity of the heat energy, we just used to prepare or we used to cook the food in a solar cooker. So in this way we make the solar cooker. So thank you, have a nice day.